Hi everybody, sanibonani, welcome to my channel. Mdletshe, and on this channel siyasibuke ama reality shows ethu alla eMzansi bese sizala sokhuluma ngalo ama shows. Siyaphinda ke futhi sikhulume ngama celebrities kanye nama YouTubers ethu alla eMzansi. If it's your first time joining me today and you really like my content, there's a subscribe button la ngezansi and a notification bell ukuze phela uthole umyalezo uma ngabe umsebenzi omusha sesiwufakile. Finally, you guys, we do a full review of episode 4 of Isencane Lengane because obviously last or beginning of this week sorry guys, I'm hitting something here. Beginning of this week we did a full review of the interview Siyacela, okay, and we did not do the actual episode, and it's quite an interesting thing is happening, and I like seeing this episode the way that it went because it makes me understand why they did that interview. You know, after the episode 3 where Siyacela, of course, with Ntando, we watched that abusive situation. It was just too much, okay? And it's almost like they wanted to prepare us for episode 4, but also at the same time to be on Siyacela's side a little bit before we see episode 4. But at the same time, when episode 4 came, we were like, huh? Siyacela. Listen, you guys, I don't want to say there's no hope for Siyacela, but I kind of feel like there's no hope. You know, I feel like Ntando's hope is in living that relationship because Siyacela doesn't see anything wrong with the things that he is doing or he has done in the relationship. He's not going to change, and he doesn't see the reason to change. I feel like even the fact that they are able to do the show with him behaving the way that he behaves, that tells him because there's nothing wrong with what he's doing. He's not going to stop, you know. So yeah, you guys, anyway. So in this episode they are meeting with a social worker. This is something that Ntando organized, okay? Listen, I'm gonna give credit, of course, to Moja Love because I do know that they probably helped Ntando to organize that social worker, okay? But I think that they thought that the meeting with the social worker was going to go different than how it went. And when it didn't, that's when they decided to do the interview because they were like, let's do damage control before more damage is done because we know more damage is about to be done, so let's just do damage control so people feel a little bit better about Siyacela, and then let's throw this episode in. They totally could have skipped this episode and showed us something else because honestly there's nothing good that that this episode did, especially when it came to Siyacela, because yes, both these people have a problem, but the biggest problem is Siyacela, and if he's not going to be the one that is willing to sit down and accept help from somebody that is sitting down and willing to help them, then where is the hope? So they go to see a social worker. Ntando is the one that is being presented as the one that initiated a meeting with a social worker. So the social worker asked Siyacela, do you know why you are here? He's like, yeah, I do. Okay, Ntando asked me to come here. He's like, yes, I know why I'm here. Ntando asked me to come here, so I came, just for Ntando, okay? So they asked Ntando. Ntando says, no, we need advice and we need help because, of course, we fight a lot in our relationship. So we have a problem with that. There's physical violence in our relationship, okay? And the social worker asked Siyacela, how do you feel about this whole thing? It's like, I have nothing to say. In fact, I just want to go. Guys, I don't understand. I don't understand why we still have Siyacela on our screens. So it's like, I just want to go, okay? I mean, guys, I don't know. I want to say it's because he is young even to be in the marriage. But I think they're all over 20. Are they not over 21 now, both of them? He should understand now that he's married. And if his marriage needs, help, he needs to sit there and listen to that social worker and answer the questions and give some feedback and take some feedback too, so that they can, make things better in their relationship. So he says he wants to go. Obviously, in a situation like that, I believe that social worker has no right to hold him against his will or or force him to stay. If he says he wants to go, he's gonna have to let him go, because the social worker was like, okay, I'm gonna speak to Ntando alone, and then I'll speak to you alone, and then I'll speak to both of you. But he was like, listen, actually, I have nothing to say, so I just want to go home. I'm not interested. So obviously, the social worker had to make a decision. You know what? Then I need to just address Ntando. Anyway, you guys, I think that is a good idea. I think counseling really should just be offered to Ntando, because that's a person that is sort of willing to listen, even though Ntando is a gone girl, gone forever and ever. But maybe there is a way to bring her back a little bit, because at the same time, one of the biggest things that have happened to Ntando is that she just had a child. And I don't care who you are, guys. When you are raising another person, corner immaturity that comes with the fact that, listen, now I'm a mom. Life is different now. And also now she's just growing. Now you're cooler. Your mind is getting open to new things and all of that, and be like, no, this is not right, and all of that. And also people just constantly telling you, listen, this is not how a relationship is supposed to go. You're not supposed to accept this. Eventually, so I feel like the hope of things ever being fixed or Ntando being in a better place lies with Ntando. So I think if Ntando could just consistently and continuously go through counseling, there is hope there. But I don't feel like there's hope for Siyacela. I just feel like it's a waste of time to even do anything with Siyacela. So I wish that they could push for Ntando to go to these meetings consistently and continuously, so that she can get some help. I think eventually she's gonna be like, what am I doing here? And I feel like, so in this situation it ends up being like it's Ntando's appointment. Okay, so he starts the social worker is trying to understand. Obviously she has watched them on TV and also when they told her the Ntando and Siyacela coming, he was like, Konje Siyacela Thando, and she went and watched the episode. She already knows what's happening, but she's pretending not to know. Okay, so Ntando says, we fight a lot. Ngiyamthanda uSiyacela, which all of us don't understand. Okay. Anyway, when we love abantu bethu, most of the time other people don't understand. Why do you love this? Are you sure? And ufuna izinto ishintshe, you guys. I do believe Ntando doesn't like being abused in her relationship, but I just don't believe that she knows that she can walk away from that relationship. It's like she feels like she's just stuck. She has to stay in the relationship, but I don't feel like she fully understands that it's not acceptable. I don't think that she likes the fact that she's being abused, but I don't feel like she totally gets that is like totally unacceptable. When it happens once in a relationship, you walk away. That's it. No negotiations. I don't think she gets that part of it. Okay, so she does talk about the fact that she doesn't like that, and also she does talk about it, because remember in my last video I did say that Ntando, this was not the first season that she talks about being hit by Siyacela. So she says that when Mdletshe was still around, it did happen, but she counts a number of times, like maybe 4 times that it has happened. I feel like it's been more than that. I think it probably happened before they got married. I think it happened when Mdletshe was around. I think it's been happening. That is their life. I don't believe that thing has only happened 4 times in their marriage. It doesn't feel that way. If they are not able to hold themselves back when the cameras are around, and they behave like that when the cameras are around, just to say, let's just wait for these people to go before we do that. If they are not able to do that, then it shows this is something that happens a lot in their relationship. Okay, and yes, then guys, I'm not laughing, I'm just avoiding crying. Okay, because what happens next is like, it made me think, because honestly I think it's important that our children, we teach them and make sure that they understand what abuse is, because sometimes you assume that your child will, and when they get into a relationship they will understand what abuse is. She says, people think that she's being abused, and but Siyacela does not abuse her. He just hits her, and she even explains it in the direct session. Siyacela doesn't abuse her, he just hits her. okay. She believes ukuthi somebody that is being abused is somebody that is being beaten every day to a point where they bleed, and okay. Anyway, Siyacela says that he does not hit Ntando for no reason. Okay. Guys, that's why I said also for Siyacela, I don't even know what there is hope. But even though I was so upset by the definition Ntando, the abuse definition Ntando, I felt like, okay, now we understand why she has accepted what she has accepted. Because to her, the fact that it doesn't happen every day and she doesn't bleed from being abused, that's the reason why she feels like she needs to accept it. She doesn't even understand that just simple hitting, simple breaking your phone, someone pulling you, in a rough way, or pushing you in a rough way, that's all of those things are abuse. So it made me feel like, yes, this explanation Ntando iyangidina. It's like, girl, I thought you were more intelligent than that. But at the same time, I feel like, oh, okay, I get it now. I get why she's feeling like her marriage still has a chance, because she does not feel like she's being abused. We might think it might be obvious to all of us that she's being abused, but it's not obvious. It's clearly not obvious to her that she's being abused, because she's still feeling like, if I'm not bleeding, you have not abused me. That's how she feels. Okay, so anyway, you guys, I think honestly the social worker appointments are going to help a little bit. I think that Ntando should just go by herself. I don't think that it's gonna help for her to go with Siyacela. But knowing Ntando, she's probably not gonna do that if Siyacela doesn't want to go. Okay, and then the next scene, Ntando is visiting her mom Nanda with her baby, and her mom is there, I guess, with her cousin. And her mom was very happy to see her. She says, honestly, Ntando looks better than she did when she was pregnant, in terms of like the weight. She's gained her weight back. Even her skin is getting better. She was, last season, she really was looking like she might be sick. So she's looking better. Her mom makes that mention, she's looking better. But I felt like her mom even saying, you look better, you look like you are happy, it's gonna give Ntando the indication that she's okay when she's not. Okay, and then guys, she's telling them about the fight with Siyacela, and her mom makes a comment, you know what, I feel like instead of Mdletshe dying, it should have been Siyacela. Okay, guys, I understand why Ntando says that, because anybody that abuses your child, you're gonna wish death on them. It's not right, but honestly, I understood her, because I wanted to have to stay here and know that you are being abused by this person. I would rather he dies and and all of that. And also, I feel like Ntando would have been better if Mdletshe was still around. But I've always had that resentment in Mdletshe, because I feel like Mdletshe is one of those people, may his soul rest in peace, but I always felt like he was one of those people that pushed so much for this marriage to take place, and if it wasn't for him, it wouldn't have. But I did have times where I felt like it was Mdletse's fault that Ntando was in that situation, because honestly, he is one of the people that pushed for these kids to get married. So even though when they were married, he was helpful to them, but it was like, you wouldn't even have to do that if you just didn't push for these kids to get married. Okay, so Ntando is not happy with the comment that Umawaka makes. So you mean ingane yami would not have a father, because if you say you want Siyacela to be the one that have died, then ingane yami wouldn't have a father. I don't think that Ntando really wants that, but also she doesn't want her child to be abused. They do talk a little bit about Ntando, and Ntando says ukuthi yazi nje mayikhuluma ku TV ngivele ngivale kwa TV. Unesicefu Ntando angifuna uqamba. Mayikhuluma ku TV ama direct sessions zakhe, ay unesidina. Unesidina, because I feel like he's an opportunist, and instead of he spent years not taking care of his child, so when he finally got a chance to take care of his child, he's busy wanting to be on TV instead of really being there for his child. So I'm not interested. The type of family, they could write them off this show. I just wouldn't care. And so apparently ugogo, you remember ugogo Siyacela, the one that Ntando no Siyacela once lived with, and who came out and said ukuthi Ntando yinuku kanjani, that gogo wants to sue Ntando. And Ntando didn't want to see her because apparently she had said something about Ntando that she did not like Ntando. And Ntando tries to convince Ntando and says, no, but she said she likes you. Ntando says in the diary session, I know because ugogo wants to meet her. I'm wondering why this gogo wants to sue Ntando. And also Loa Gogo, I always felt like she really likes being on TV. So a lot of the people in Ntando's life, you question, does anybody have Ntando's best interest at heart, or everybody wants to be close to her so that they can be on TV? Because it will seem like outside of them shooting the show, they don't really contact Ntando, and then when the season starts, then everybody wants to see Ntando, everybody wants to be around Ntando, everybody has a concern to talk about. I need to see your mother, I need to, but outside of that, they don't do it. So I just feel like maybe that's why she feels like the only person that loves her is Siyacela. Even though sometimes we am Shia Lapayana Ulund as Hambele to spend time with his girlfriend. Okay. So the next thing is, if I could crop them out of the show every time I watch the show, I would. They're just irritating with that rich aunt Wakona. They're irritated. How are you going to go to Ntando ukuyohlawula when kubo Thando, komalume Thando kusenkandla? Because angithi they went enkandla, bafika umalume engekho, they decided ukuthi bazoya eNtanda, nomalume wasuzoya eNtanda. That whole thing didn't make sense. In fact, I wouldn't be surprised if Leamal that they paid, after they said cut, they wrapped up, they took the money back, honestly, because it doesn't make sense. Like me living here in Pietermaritzburg, if it would not happen here. It will happen back at home. So that scene just didn't make sense. So they show up to Baba Thando with some gogo and no aunt, the rich aunt, and was it another uncle? Okay. And okay. So the first scene was Baba Thando showing up in Kandla. Okay, they showed up in Kandla on the day that Umalume was not there. Okay, so and also in the evening. So Ugogo Thando is like Umalume akekho. So what's gonna happen now? Okay, they call Umalume. Umalume is like, hey, bayagula labo bantu. I told them ukuthi angikho, I will give them a date in. So they say, okay, can we see you back in Nanda again? I think they just wanted to shoot the scene. So now Gesebese Nanda, where Thando lives, and I think Thando had his her uncle there to help her out to go. Okay, so basike bazokhokha inhlawulo. Thando was there. Okay, you know how they say uzohlawula uzocela awubi khona. Thando was like kukhona, I am going to be there. Okay, so athi Thando yena nizohlawula kanjani ningecelanga uxolo. The story is when Ntando was born, Thando's grandmother took the baby to the Tabete family, and when she got there, they had questions about paternity Thando. And ugogo Thando came back very disappointed, by the fact that azange bamphathe kahle, and they didn't think the baby belongs to the Tabete family. And now they are coming back. You see how I say, guys, do you see why I say the Tabete family is like they are opportunists? Now that Ntando is on TV, now saying Aneabo now. So Thando felt like they owe her an apology, they owe the family an apology, and she doesn't feel like they should move ahead and kuhlawulwe without umdeni wakaThabete apologizes. Okay, so and also they do say futhi nina fanele ngabe nenkandla, what are you doing here? Okay, ke kwakhuluma uyazi rich auntie mayikhuluma ngemlaleli nokumlalela, guys, because I was like, this one Hey, uthanda ukubuka too much. But anyway, you guys, inhlawulo ends up being because kube naleyo mpikiswano uMathando was not happy. Nomalume was like, if the owner of the ndaba is saying she needs an apology, you might as well. So bazama ukuthi ba apologize because uMathando had walked out. Bayikhokha inhlawulo, guys. I was trying to count on this. I need to go back to those people that were post episode and get counted like on the table. Those 100 rands was it wasn't the 3,000 because they were supposed to pay 3,000. They put the 100 rand, they put the I think umalume takes the money, but I think afterwards they were like, malume, we were not really hlawuling, sisazohlawula sicela sibuyisele leyo mali. Okay, so apparently ugogo lo bebehamba nayo was the gogo that was there actually when Ntando was taken to the family. So that's why uMathando remembered that incident ukuthi they must apologize. So ugogo naye ke wazama ukukhuluma exolisa, but uMathando was not satisfied, but obviously they had to move on. Okay, so sebehlawulileke now they talk about the thing that they was really bringing them there. They say they want ingane ize ngakubona. Yes, they talk as if Ntando is like 3 years old. They forget because this is a grown-up woman married. You missed your child's whole life until they were married. You only came back after they were married. Okay, so they say they want Ntando to come and be in their side. You know why they want that? Because they want of course the show for them to be the main cast members on the show. If Ntando lives with them, everything will be short. That's their thinking. Abantu bakaThabethe. They don't want Ntando because what are they going to do with Ntando? Bazomenza Ntando. You know, if they failed to be there for Ntando from the age of 0 to 16 years old, because Ntando got married at 16, and they saw her on TV for season 1, season 2. That's the only time they came back to be like, oh, now she's on TV, let's come, you know. So umalume is like, hold on, okay, nihlawulile lana, but now ufuna ngothi nifuna Ntando kanjani njani inkomo, okay. Let alone Komo, and then we'll start talking. Okay, obviously they don't want to pay in Komo because they were thinking 3,000 rand is gonna give them all the rights to Ntando. Every season this family is trying to work to get closer to Ntando so that they can be on camera more. Okay, guys, this is one thing I forgot to mention. When Ntando is with her mom visiting with her baby, she does mention to her mom that she wants to do a DNA test. Okay, she wants to do a DNA test, which her mom doesn't understand, because basically what that means there is that you are saying your mom lied about you belonging to the Thabethe family. But at the same time, she understands why Ntando wants a paternity test, because she says, I don't have a relationship with this person, and you also, mom, have said, they have said previously that I'm not their child, so I just want to make sure, and I'm hoping that he's not, so that he can be out of my life. If I had a father like that, I would be hoping the same, you know. So yes, you guys, so while they are hlawuling on this side, Ntando on that side is wanting to make arrangements to do a DNA test, because she does not think ubabake, and she does not even want. Have you ever had someone who is family but you don't want them to be family, but there's nothing you can do about it? She's hoping with the DNA test will save her from that. Anyway, you guys, thank you so much for watching this video. Please like it before Pumegiona, share it with your friends, with your family, and even with strangers. Nginithanda kakhulu.